So there's two types of how to get taller videos on the internet. The first one is the one that gives you basic info on things that you should be doing anyway, like exercise, sleep, nutrition, sunlight, things like that. And the second type is the type that spews absolute nonsense. They tell you BS routines and stretches. I mean, I saw one guy saying that, doing toe touches and swinging your arms around, things like that, would make you taller. I mean, bro, most people who go to the gym do that in their warm up anyway. So then why aren't most gym goers tall? What these YouTubers do is that they tell you how they got taller doing the things that they did, even though we all know it was just their growth spurt. And then they try to sell you BS programs and even worse, supplements. They try to take money from you. And though these supplements may not be dangerous, but they are a waste of money because of the reason you're buying them. To make things worse, you'll actually have kids in the comment section of these videos saying how they got taller doing all these things and how all the things that these YouTubers are saying work, whereas they probably just grew because of their growth spurts. And some people also say, oh, but I grew even when I was in my late teens. But yeah, that's probably because you started puberty late. And even if you didn't, everybody just grows at different rates. Everybody starts and stops growing at different times. I have a friend who pretty much didn't grow at all till 10th grade. He was the smallest in our class. I mean, even his younger sister was taller than him. But then in 11th grade, he suddenly shot up in height. And now I think he's even slightly taller than me. And considering he hit puberty so late, he actually might grow even taller now. I am 18 years old right now, and I started puberty at full swing when I was 13. And by 14, I was already 5'7". And in the past 4 years, I've only grown 1 inch, so I'm 5'8" now. So that clearly shows that people grow at different rates. Some people reach their final height pretty early on, whereas other people continue growing into their late teens, sometimes even into their 20s. So everybody is different. Doing all these weird exercises and stretches that these YouTubers tell you will not replace your genetics, which are mostly responsible for how tall you'll end up being. People say, oh, only 80% depends on genetics and the rest is in your hands. But genetics determine how tall you can get, as in your maximum limit. And the remaining 20% that is supposedly not dependent on genetics determines how much of that potential you can maximize. Yes, diet, sleep, exercise, sunlight, all that is important. But there are so many people out there who have all that dialed in and they haven't reached their goal height. They're not as tall as they want to be, because it doesn't work like that. You can't just determine how tall you want to be and work towards that. So, what can you do now? Well, the answer is to just accept it. Just accept your height for what it is. I'm not saying height doesn't matter at all. I'm just saying that if it wasn't in the cards for you to be tall, then there are probably other great things about you that you just have to discover. Also, when it comes to height, people are insecure because of Western standards for height. But the fact of the matter is that height really depends on geographical factors. So let's say you're 5'7" living in the Philippines, worrying about your height, thinking you're too short because of Western media, then just know that you're actually fine because you're taller than average for a Filipino guy. So you need to break out of that social media bubble and social media standards for your own sanity. Also, wishing that you're just 2 inches taller isn't going to solve anything. It isn't going to change anything. It's only going to affect your mental health negatively. So just accept your height for what it is. I mean, if you grow taller, then that's great. But if you don't, it's okay.